To the Best Beginnings preview today. We're delighted that you're with us. And I also want to, this is Jackie B. Peterson, and I also want to introduce my guest today. I'm thrilled that she is with us, and her name is Janet Wentworth. And Janet is an entrepreneur coach who specializes in branding for solos. She is one of the founding partners of 10X Group in Northern California. Janet is the author of Your Unstoppable Brand, the practical guide to engaging your ideal customers through the power of stories. She helps solos understand the force of focusing on ideal customers, understanding your business archetypes, and using stories to engage. Currently, Janet is a business advisor with the Sonoma, Marin, and Mendocino Small Business Development Centers. She works with clients needing startup assistance and marketing strategy, as well as web development and online marketing assistance. She's a frequent speaker on the online marketing and about online marketing, and presents many of the SBDC workshop programs. I'm just delighted that she is here today to join me in this webinar, and will be adding a lot of wisdom and experience to what we're talking about, just informing a small business, and of course in the area of marketing and branding. I also want to welcome any of Janet's clients and followers. And Janet, I just can't thank you enough for allowing me the privilege of introducing your clients to my business and the business building method as Best Beginnings. Now, as you all know, I have a brand new offering called Best Beginnings. It's a webinar series. We're going to start in February, and it is life-changing. I don't know what else to say about it. It is life-changing for the new entrepreneur. It's based on a method I've developed over the last 15 years called Better, Smarter, Richer, and have used with my personal clients and while teaching and advising at the Small Business Development Center in Portland, Oregon. And today I want to introduce everyone that's paying attention to the webinar to my method. I'll explain to you how I saw an urgent need for Best Beginnings. And then I'll talk about how Best Beginnings works and why it's different from any other approach to starting a solo business. Now, here's a few housekeeping notes. I want to encourage our audience to ask questions as we go, and you can type them right into the chat box, and my colleagues will pass them to me for discussion. Another colleague that is with us today is Susan Taylor. Hello, Susan.
Yes. Hello.
And Susan is going to watch the chat box and the chat screen and make sure that we don't miss any questions, and that if I pass over something that she thinks is a salient point that should be brought up, I assure you Susan's wonderful at coming in and asking those great questions. She's really good at that.
I'm a good interrupter.
What a qualification, huh?
Yeah.
And so remember, if you've got questions, ask them. And if at the end, if you don't want to ask as we're going, at the end, you can wait till the end, and we should have time, about 15 minutes to get to everything. And I want to encourage listeners to stay until the end, as we have a very special offer for our audience today. I'm so happy that we've got such a large group here, and I know you're eager to begin. So let's begin. Maybe you've heard about my groundbreaking solo business method called Better, Smarter, Richer. No one else is talking about my approach, yet it works and has worked really well for thousands of my clients. But as millions of Americans try to start their own businesses, they're simply getting bad advice on how to proceed. They're told that unless they build a business based on what I've come to call the standard corporate structure, they're going to fail. The corporate approach requires that an entrepreneur build a business that will ultimately have him or her as the president, presiding over a company of managers and workers. If the initial spark for the business was to work hands-on and experience the joy of, say, creating a ceramics product and pottery, or one individually delivering life coaching, if you try to follow that traditional model, all the work you love is going to be done by others, whom you will then manage. That is what is the traditional model. And you will not get to do the work you love. You will be managing other people. In the traditional model, the founder spends his or her time managing staff, worrying about getting bigger, and satisfying investors. Artists, consultants, healthcare providers, and many others have no wish to abandon the creation of their product or service. The approach has led to hundreds of potentially successful solos thinking that the corporate approach is the only way to just give up in despair. And when that happens, we all lose. Now, I believe in your success. That giving up before you create the business that you've always wanted to have doesn't have to happen. My method makes it possible, really necessary, for the work, whether a product or a service, to be done by the expert, and that expert is you. I am determined that the waste of invaluable talent must come to a stop. I hope you will stay with me for the next half hour or so to learn how you can fulfill your personal dream of a successful solo business. My clients often tell me that they love my solo business method, Better, Smarter, Richer, but that actually they need help with the very beginning steps. They're unsure how to select the best business for themselves, how to overcome their anxieties about asking for money, how to talk about themselves and their brand in their brand new business. They don't know how to do that, or how to manage the tasks that they know are necessary, but about which they know next to nothing. Branding's in there, Janet, and that's your specialty. Do you find that people are scared to death about branding?
Yes, they're scared to death about marketing in general, actually. I get a lot of clients. I get clients who will just sit in my office and say, I have this great idea. I hate marketing. Can you help me?
Oh, wow.
And they want to ignore marketing.
Yes.
Totally. So yes, and it's all because they have not learned how to talk about their business. They haven't convinced themselves, that old sales proverb that your first sale has to be to yourself. They have not sold themselves, and therefore they cannot sell anyone else.
Boy, that's a piece of wisdom. Like you, I meet literally hundreds of beginning entrepreneurs, and as I listen to them, I realize that there's just an urgent need for what I'm calling best beginnings, because it's a safe and a structured method for successfully starting a business, even if you have no idea what you might be best at or what you need to do to get started from scratch. So here's what I see. One of the things I see, people are scared to death. See, there's some of the specific questions that Best Beginnings answers. I have no idea what to do. People are saying that. I'm not good at anything. I haven't got a clue. They just don't know where to go. Or they say this, I've got lots of ideas but don't know which will work or make any money. And you can see that there's a lot of confusion that the budding entrepreneur is experiencing. They're confused and confounded. Is that a good idea, they say? Will this make money? What should I do? Here's another one. People are scared to death they're going to have to raise a lot of money. There are lots of fears that stop people from starting a business they've always wanted. For one thing, the whole world is telling them they're going to have to write a huge business plan. And then it says you're writing that plan because you're going to have to raise capital. So am I going to have to raise capital? Am I going to have to go into debt? Am I going to have to find a venture capitalist? They have no idea what a venture capitalist is. They think they're going to go to the bank to get $25,000. And it just seems very daunting and very, very fearful. They don't know what to do. Then I find this one comes up. Another fear that stops people from starting a business is the fear that they will have to hire employees in order to create a business. Now, when I tell them that a solo business means that you can grow and succeed without hiring people, a look of total relief crosses their faces. I'm standing in front of the group and I can look at the audience, and you would just be amazed at the look that crosses their faces as they learn that I'm talking about a business where you don't have to hire and manage employees. I say, yes, you can do this, and you can do it well without hiring employees, and it doesn't mean that you have to work your own tail off. The standard business model teaches us that success lies in hiring others to do the work. But that's not going to work if you alone can create and deliver the product or service you want to sell. Think music or writing or art. That isn't going to work. Too often creatives, encores, healthcare professionals, consultants are told that being successful in a solo business is just simply not possible. Now, I don't believe that is true. In fact, I know it's not true. And I have found a business method that allows the entrepreneur to be an entrepreneur, doing what they love and not becoming an unhappy manager or an overworked, discouraged, unhappy business owner. In Best Beginnings, we will teach you how to use the Waterbug model, our trademark business model that means you can get all the support you need to start and grow your business without hiring employees. And in fact, that if you do hire employees, you're going to negate the tremendous benefits garnered from being a solo. This is what they think they're going to have to create. Hiring people to do your work is often presented as the only successful way to be in business. The work itself, whether a product or a service, is at the bottom of the business pyramid. You know how a traditional business comes out looking like a pyramid, with you, the entrepreneur, at the top, directing the work, and a staff of managers. But solos are not interested in this or can't do this. They want to do the work. They want to create the art or deliver the services themselves, hands-on. So I've developed a method that ensures success without abandoning what you love doing so you can manage other people and create a staff to do your product or service. You get to do it, not managing others to do the work. Here's another thing that happens. Boy, Janet, this one's for you. Being afraid of marketing and selling is just it. Tell us what happens in your experience.
In my experience, they are afraid to really speak up about what they do. They're shy. They just can't express themselves. And then as they start to hear them talk about their business, they start to doubt. It's not sounding right. By and large, it's because they don't understand their own story, their own reason, their own passion for starting the business. And they haven't told it to themselves so that they get enough confidence that when they do go out to someone else, it just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, that's good.
And
I like
tell
that.
people that you craft your story or your sales pitch or whatever it is, and you keep out loud telling yourself as you're driving around, as you're taking a shower, just keep saying it until when you meet someone, you can say it without even thinking.
I love that.
So that it's natural, and it doesn't sound. You don't get this choke in the voice, and you can just say, "This is what I do, and this is why it's important."
Oh, that's just great. I see these things all the time. I mean, people tell me they're just worried sick about having to market. And that worry translates often into a disdain for marketing and sales, sometimes even into a disdain for making money in the art community. So as Janet said in Best Beginnings, we're going to give you a lot of tools that you can use confidently and enthusiastically to express yourself about your product or service, the basis of any good, strong marketing. We're going to teach you some other tools that will help you stay confident. Such tools as knowing your unique value proposition, to which Janet was alluding. Learn how to talk about yourself, say it all of the time. And another tool is to help you understand your target market and knowing that you can also outsource to others marketing administration help. You don't have to do your own social media or keep your website up to date. Here's another one that happens. I just don't believe I'm good enough to have a business. Wow. I think this is the direct result of years of programming that comes from your corporate job. Many parts of corporate America have a way of making you believe that what you have learned over the last 30 to 35 years of work is only valuable to them, and that you don't know anything that is worth anything to anyone else. course, I say balderdash. You not only know things, you have a unique view of the world because of who you are and your unique life experiences, and there are potential buyers waiting for what you are going to bring to the marketplace. Best Beginnings is going to help you gain confidence in what it is you have to sell because you will know exactly what it is you have to offer and to whom. And that knowledge will support you as you move forward. Fits right into this sphere. What if I've got nothing new to offer? It's already been done. Everybody, it's out there already. There's nothing new under the sun. We hear that one. So even more fears people have. There's nothing new, but we're going to encourage you to take time to investigate and explore, and then you're going to find out that there are others who you may think are competitors, and they're simply not offering what you plan to offer in the way that you plan to offer it. They are not planning their product offering to include the features and approaches that you're planning in your offering. We're going to help you look closely at what is out there in the marketplace and distinguish what you have to offer from what is already there. Often this is enough to help you understand what you plan to bring is unique, different, and needed, and enough to build the foundation of a successful solo business. So Best Beginnings is different. It's different from anything else, not just because we address all of those concerns and worries, but because our approach is realistic, practical, down to earth, grounded in years of coaching, and easy to follow. Not only that, we're going to be with you the entire way. We're not going to just throw this out there and abandon you. So let's talk about creatives for a minute. You can make a good living hands-on doing what you love. Often creatives and then encores and healthcare professionals are told that being successful in a solo business is not possible and that you really can't make any good money. But the Better, Smarter, Richer upon which Best Beginnings is based is perfect for any artist, creative, professional, or consultant. Also perfect for encores, those over 50 who want to spend the next 30 years doing what they love and securing their retirement finances. So here's a group that we know about, the starving artists. Many artists who try to make a living as artists end up living on a starvation budget. Now, Janet, do you see this a lot in your practice?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. They haven't thought about the numbers. They're scared of the numbers and are willing to live for the crumbs, actually, just like your picture up there.
Yeah, settle for the crust of the bread.
They settle. They settle because they're afraid to ask for more. And they get bad advice that they shouldn't be asking for more, even from some other consultants.
Yes, I hear that happen all the time. I say, wait a minute, let's talk about your value, not your price.
Right.
So I see that many artists who try to make a living end up on truly with the crust, as a starvation budget, which is really unsustainable. It's bare bones, and it doesn't allow for growth or physical or mental comfort.
It doesn't. One thing, Jackie, also is that many creatives have a spouse or significant other. That person has a full-time job, and so they use that kind of as a crutch that I don't have to make more money. And so they get into a spiral of, I don't make more money, I don't deserve more money, I shouldn't raise my price, I just have this little business, and it's a negative spiral that they really need to get out of.
I wonder if they stop and think about that patron, that patron that came to them kind of as part of the relationship, but actually did not opt in to be their patron. And the next thing that happens out of an unwilling patron is, this is going to be a play on words, is they become patronizing. They also get in there and begin to look down on your work because they're supporting it, and they begin to say, oh, Jane, she makes these cute little blah blah blahs, and isn't that cute that she's keeping herself entertained rather than she's making a contribution to the economy and to the beauty of the world and whatever she's doing. And I don't know about you, but that just makes me go, "Blah!"
Yes. Yes.
So the method that we're talking about in Best Beginning talks directly about this. I want all entrepreneurs, and particularly artists, to be comfortable while working on what they love. And as we work through our numbers portion of the course, we have people understand their costs, and then add in the extra things that make life worth living, like retirement and healthcare and vacation and debt reduction, and so that they really can compute a price, based on what their real costs are of leading a middle-class American life, and then charge for that. I say you can charge what you are worth, and furthermore, if you don't charge what you are worth, your business is going to really struggle. So we're going to work with you and help you calculate the price and feel good about charging that fair price for your work. You're going to be thrilled to be charging it. So another group we're talking to is the encores. So many encores are just not ready to retire. And maybe they can't afford to retire, or because they want to keep working. 65 today is not 65 a generation ago. And this time they think, I want to do something I truly love. I spent the last years making sure I got, the house paid for and my kids through college, and, I took care of all those obligations in life, and now I want to do what I really love. So this method that we teach in Best Beginnings allows encores to capitalize on the expertise they've spent their lifetime acquiring. There are more businesses today being created by those over 50 than any other age group. So we're living what's called the longevity bonus, an extra 30 or so years of life expectancy, and it's both a gift and a challenge. It's a gift because it's a whole new time of life. When we can monetize what we've spent a lifetime learning. And it's a challenge because we have to support ourselves for an additional 30 years, which a lot of people did not plan for in their retirement planning. So I keep saying, sounds like an opportunity to me. So also, Best Beginnings is experiential. Often someone starting a new business is told that an extensive written business plan is the only way forward. Now, I just don't believe that. The successful entrepreneur, of course, must have a general plan of action, but it needs to be short, flexible, and ready to change from one approach to another based on customer interaction. The successful entrepreneur asks questions, analyzes the marketplace for what is not offered, and changes and adjusts their business offering to take advantage of what is needed and wanted by the marketplace and what is unfolding new things. So we call it agility. Agility is the best way to find success, not being saddled to following a fixed and immovable 40-page, sitting on the shelf gathering dust business plan. So here's what you're going to learn in Best Beginning. Let's take a look at each one of the 7 webinars. Number 1 is, what should I do? So a solo entrepreneur can run a successful business. It just isn't accomplished by taking a magic pill. It takes hard work, deep introspection, and to be successful, you've got to think about this. So I say step 1 is you've got to focus on one thing. You cannot be an interior designer and a massage therapist. You just can't do it. Or an attorney and a personal trainer. For those businesses to be successful, you must choose and present yourself to the world as one thing. Doesn't mean you can't do other things, but you have to present for-profit, money-making enterprises as one thing and be very good at it. Then, after you've chosen your one thing, I want you to find your sweet spot, and it should be as yummy looking as this cupcake. A business idea has to be where your passion for your work, combined with your talent for the work, intersects with a potential flow of revenue. In other words, enough customers willing to buy your work. Without all 3 of these elements, it isn't going to work. You're going to fail. So if you choose passion and talent, that's not enough. If one is interested in isn't enough if one isn't interested in buying what you have to offer. Just because you've got a passion and a talent for something doesn't mean it's going to create a revenue stream. Or if you chose passion and money, that's not enough because you don't have maybe the skill to provide or the ability to provide your product or service, and your business isn't going to work. And although this may be hard to believe, Talent and money aren't going to carry you through either, because you have to have the passion to sustain you through the tough times. And I'm going to take you through a process so that you can find your sweet spot. This is a picture of the Venn diagram of your sweet spot that's going to help you choose the right focus for your business. Once you've chosen your focus, you want to dig deeper. If you've chosen to be that massage therapist, I don't know how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of massage therapists there are, but you've got to develop your expertise. And you do that by saying, I'm a massage therapist, and say, I'm going to work with pregnant women, or I'm going to work with sports injuries, something like that. If, on the other hand, you choose to be the interior designer, then you want to focus on maybe new homes, or remodels, or offices, or mid-century modern. So you've got to develop your skills and reputation in one area of your focus. Become known for one thing. Develop your expertise. Specialization and expertise lead to financial success. That's scary to people. They're afraid they're letting go of a lot of things, and they are, but choosing the one thing is what makes it work. So then they say, how do I begin? Okay, I've got my specialization, I've got my focus. How do I turn that idea into a business? This is the second webinar. And at that webinar, we're going to take you through the concrete, detailed steps that you must take to turn your idea into a business. These steps involve naming your business, creating the right form of business to suit your needs, registering your business, funding your business, and starting to offer services. So then, okay, now we've got the idea, we've got the business, so how should I price it? What's my product or service worth? If you're going to be successful, you must charge enough for your work. I see one of the biggest reasons that businesses fail is that they do not charge enough money for what they do. So if you're a Best Beginning student, this is the first time you're going to hear me say it, and I'm going to say it probably 1,000 times. People are afraid to charge enough money for what they do. They're afraid of rejection. But here it is. If you do not charge enough money, you are not considered to be any good. A lot of times we don't know how to judge anything but by how much it costs. And so if you don't charge enough money, people think you're not good enough. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't charge enough, you also can't afford to live the life you deserve. You can't afford to invest in the renewal and regeneration that you need to keep yourself fresh and with the new markets. You can't outsource the help that you need and to be seen as more professional. All those things happen when you don't charge enough money. So we're going to help you set the prices and the rates that will make you financially successful and feel confidence quoting those prices and getting them from your happy customers. In Best Beginnings, we're also going to help you understand ways to offer packages of services so you're not even tempted to quote your work by the hour. You know, no one ever buys just 1 hour of your time, so don't offer it. Have ways that customers can work with you that satisfy their needs and get you paid what you deserve. Here's right up Janet's alley. We talk about helping you articulate your unique value proposition. This is one of the pillars of marketing, and pricing, it's just your message. To get your pricing up where you want it, to be able to get the clients that you're looking for, you have to be able to articulate clearly and succinctly what differentiates you from everybody else. Janet, you look like you've got something to add there.
Oh, well, yes, this is definitely a biggie and one that people tend to overlook or undervalue when they're starting. But without this, it's just another Me Too of whatever it is, massage or art or whatever. And this is where understanding the vision of what you are offering a customer and how their life will be better because of what you offer. And that therein is the story. And once you can talk to people and see how their life changes because of what you can do for them, it totally transforms how you can look at your business.
And transforms your interaction with your customers because you're so passionate
Yes.
about what you have to offer. I literally have had people hire me and they say to me, I really don't understand what it is you're going to do, but I want to buy some of it.
Hey, very good. Then they already see, they don't know how you're going to do it, but they can see a better future for them if they
Yes,
work with
yes, and
their,
they can feed right into my energy and my enthusiasm and my vision for how we're going to work together. And as I say, I literally have had people say that I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm buying it.
excellent.
So, like we're talking about, this is just absolutely your message is absolutely one of the pillars of marketing. And in Best Beginnings, we're going to work with you to be able to say and feel comfortable saying and know how to say, just like your own name, your unique value proposition. It's how you talk about yourself. What we've learned is that a stranger or a potential customer is going to give you the free gift of 4.2 seconds of attention span. Attention span is the most rare commodity in the world. And so when you're networking or talking to possible clients, you must interest them and intrigue them quickly and succinctly so that they will ask you a follow-up question and you get more of their time to be able to explore what exactly they're looking for. So your unique value proposition not only focuses the conversation and gets people interested, it helps you stay focused and on track. What is it I'm doing? Where should I dig in? Where should I spend my time? Here's a big question. How do my customers find me? This is a big worry that often stops would-be entrepreneurs from starting a business. How do I find people who want what I have to offer? So remember, it's about getting your message, the megaphone, to those who need and want to hear what you have to say, the sleeping soldiers. In Best Beginnings, we're going to help you do exactly that. And who's my customer? We talked about one pillar of marketing being your message. This is the other pillar of marketing, your target customer. The who exactly, and I mean exactly, are you marketing to? Remember this. This is one of the things that scares people. They think they have to be selling to everyone. But I like to say, let's sell to those people most likely to buy from you. I know that sounds kind of silly, right? But who are they? How can you describe them? Then, once we know that, we can get our message to our target. Once we know who the target is, we can figure out how to put ourselves right where they hang out or deliver the messages that resonate with them. But boy, if we're trying to send out the message to all 7.2 billion people on the planet, well, that's pretty broad. You know, we're all different. So this is another big, huge piece in our marketing that we will be talking about. So here's the picture. I like to say you've got to have your marketing hit the target in the bullseye. So you've got to know who you're aiming for. And Best Beginnings, we're going to help you determine who that person is and help you decide how to approach them so that when you make the sales you want, as I say, without having to sell to everybody on the planet like we see so many of the big marketing companies doing. You know, I think we make up our ideas about marketing from watching commercials with Coca-Cola and McDonald's and Walmart and Walgreens, and we think, oh my God, I'm going to have to be out there just like they are. But you know, maybe you only need to find 100 people who are going to sustain you and sustain your business because they're the right people and they want exactly what it is that you have to offer. Okay, how do I speak the language of my customer? Now, I think overall you can see that the ideas we're talking about in Best Beginnings are quite different from standard business plans and standard business format. And because the plans, you know, we know plans are designed to raise money from a bank or venture capitalist to start the business. They're full of detailed financial analysis, legal terms, and buyout options. Yuck. They are geared to show growth in product sales and return on investment. Now, this is not what a solo business is about. Certainly, we're about our solo business making money, but it's also about joy and satisfaction. So in Best Beginnings, we're going to help you not only identify your best target customer, but how to encourage them to become a happy referral source because you know their needs and they are happy to refer you to others who also need them. So one of the things I like to say about marketing today, I call specific marketing surgical marketing. And a big thing to remember in marketing, and Janet, you can tell me if you experience this is true too, it's a big change, I think, is that when you're looking for specific clients, you know, they're also looking for you. Have you found
yes.
that? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, they are looking for you, but frequently they don't know where to look. So you need to be out there so you can intersect.
Yes. Yes, you have to be standing up there waving your arms, you know, with a kind of a light glow around you so that they can hone in on you.
Right.
And it's so interesting, though. This is so new. I think this is the 21st century business. You know, it's new in marketing where you're looking for the right customer, but the right customer is looking for you. It makes it a two-way street that I don't think it has ever been before. So we're going to work with you to be precise and clear so that you know who you want and they can find you because you're helping them find you. And we're going to help you develop a specific marketing program and a plan so that you can find and sell to your best customers. Okay, so we're set. How do I grow? Now what do I do? So I want you to remember in Best Beginnings, we're going to talk about this mostly in pricing, but we're going to continue to talk about this. When you have a business, it is a business. It is not a hobby. No matter how small it is, it's a business. So in your business, you need to have financial information. It's got to have pricing system, a set of books, invoices, cash collection plans, packages of services, and reports to you as the owner so that you can hold it accountable to doing what you want it to do for you. I've asked people that question, what do you want this business to do for you? And a look of just pure dismay crosses their faces like, I've never thought about that before. I didn't know I could make my business do things for me. I thought I just had to stay busy doing things for it. Wow. No, 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 no. A business is a tool you create because you want it to do things for you. And you've got to hold it accountable to making money for you. Then you grow using that principle that I call the water bug model. Growing by outsourcing, growing by collaboration, not by hiring employees. So you have to move from doing the work to managing people. In Best Beginnings, we will help you identify the tasks that you should never do, and you should always outsource to other business owners on a business-to-business basis, where the work being done by those, excuse me, who have a great interest in your success. I have found over the years that the employees do what they need to do to get by, but other business owners who are supporting your business get really creative because they're interested in your success. They want you to be successful because you'll keep hiring them. You know, where the employee rarely thinks about that relationship. Very different and very valuable to you to outsource to other businesses. And they just simply have a vested interest in your success, which makes it wonderful. So here's our little water bug. I probably, you know, if we're afraid of bugs, that probably isn't a wonderful thing. But, you know, when I was struggling with identifying and naming the basic principles that solos must follow to achieve financial success, I was inspired by the water skimmer. It's their long legs with the pads on the end of the legs that keep them atop of the water and keep them from falling in. Now, our outsource partners do the same thing. They perform administrative and financial and marketing services for us and help us make our businesses successful by making sure that we are able to devote the majority of our time to our primary work, the work that makes us money. Bless the water bugs.
Oh, that is such a big point, Jackie.
Yeah.
That you spend your time on what you do best and what is really going to provide benefits to your business. I see too many people in trying to keep to a very tight budget, try to do their own website, create their own logo, a lot of things that they're not really suited for.
Yes.
And they spend way too much time and have really a substandard result. Whereas if they went out and used one of the crowdsourced design tools or websites, they could have a much better result, and it really wouldn't cost them that much.
You know, I so totally agree with you. You know, I've had people say to me, I need a website, I'm going to learn HTML, and I sit up and say, no!
Yes, yes. I tell people that, and they say, but I don't have any money. But there are free website
Right.
builders. I
Yes.
don't recommend them for long term, but if that's what you need to get going, do it, and then hire an inexpensive designer for the short term.
Yes.
Get yourself going.
Yes. Get yourself going.
But don't get mired in HTML.
No, I think this is where the difference has happened in the solo business model here at this particular thing we're talking about. Because I can remember it used to be when home-based businesses existed, but everybody kind of discounted them and said, oh, you've got a home-based business. Oh, what that means is you can choose you can only work half-time. You can work half-time if you want to. You can choose whatever 12 hours a day it is that you want to work. They used to be disparaging of home-based businesses or small businesses or self-employment, but things have changed. And they have changed radically because of the internet and also because of this model that you can outsource and that you can devote yourself to what it is that makes money.
It's very similar to authors who are now self-publishing, whereas that used to be denigrated as, oh, you're not a real author, so you had to publish yourself.
Yes.
Now even very well-known authors are doing it because they realize it's a much better model.
Yes.
So there are a lot of exciting things going on that can make a difference for a solo startup.
Oh, totally. Totally. So, again, Best Beginnings is a series designed to guide you through understanding the concepts of that better, smarter, richer method and integrating them into every phase of your business. Ideation, design, and implementation will get you started. And we know that without a successful beginning, you're going to have a hard time succeeding. You've probably heard of many people who've started lots of businesses. Ideas came tumbling out and they take shots in the dark and hope to hit the target. Without thought, research, self-awareness, and a host of other steps, no business will be successful. But with limited time and money, solopreneurs can't afford to waste those precious items with dozens of mistakes and false starts, just like Janet was talking about. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who are just simply stuck. They know that they want to start a business, but they've had absolutely no idea how to begin. So whether you have too many ideas for your business or none at all, other than desire, Best Beginnings is for you. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite pictures. This is really an underlying piece of Best Beginnings. So we call it's a cyclical process, and this is plan, do, check, act, which by the way originated as a principle of process improvement in the total quality management revolution. This is what we have adopted, and Best Beginnings is designed around a method and a system. It isn't magical, but what we want you to do is follow the system. Plan your business with an easy, short, but clear plan. Then find your first customer, and they are going to help you create the rest of the business. That's the check and the act part. Your first customer is going to walk with you and help you flesh out your business because they're getting exactly what they want, and you are learning how better to promote your business and what you're doing. Here's something else you get with Best Beginnings. You just have lots of resource. It's full of exercises. It includes a package of worksheets that we will talk about each time we have a webinar. You'll be able to download that packet as part of your registration, and then you can use the worksheets and work with them each week as we take another lesson in the program. So we're going to walk you through the worksheets in that particular lesson, and then you can use them with your own business on your own time, with your own ideas, and keep fleshing them out, writing them down, getting clear about exactly what it is that you want to do. And at the beginning of each webinar, we're going to come back and say to you, have you done the work? What did you learn? How has that moved you forward? And answer questions. So it's really great. We're going to tailor this for you, and as I say, I'm going to promise you that if you do your part working hard, that you're going to make a business that's going to be successful regardless of what kind of business you have. And the secret is that it draws upon your life experience, your observations, your practical knowledge and skills with a system that works. It assumes that you know a lot about your work, and it supports you as you imagine, create, and develop the business you've always wanted. So who should take this? Let's look at some of the people we think should sign up. If you've always wanted a financially successful career, this is for you. One of the biggest stumbling blocks on the way to a solo business is the starting process itself. There's a lot to think about and so many ways to make costly mistakes that they waste both time and money. Best Beginnings can save literally thousands of dollars by guiding you to make sensible and profitable decisions about what is best for you to pursue. Now, I'm sure that you've heard of the entrepreneur who has made many false starts before finding the correct business. You've probably not heard from the entrepreneur who was defeated by these mistakes or ran out of time and money before finding the right niche. So this is for you if you're searching. Now, if you're 50 and over and want to start a business, this is great. Encores are really, really good candidates for Best Beginnings. They are often not finished when they retire. They have more to give, they have unfulfilled dreams, or they simply must continue to work to support that retirement. Now, Best Beginnings provides a simple, low-cost way for Encores to explore their options and begin implementing a sustainable and successful future. How about the creatives? Creatives are especially vulnerable to failure if they follow the traditional business model. And that's what 99.999% of business books are about, by the way, that traditional model. Artists must, hands-on, do the work of their business. They cannot hire someone to make the art or the music, but they also must do all of the rest of the standard business services, all that administrative work, pricing, billing, social media. Somewhere in the growing burden of making art and managing a business, many artists are defeated and simply give up. The Best Beginnings approach is especially beneficial to artists, not only because it's based on supporting the creative process, but it also helps artists understand what they should be paid for their work and how to get paid fairly. You can make a living as an artist if you follow the Best Beginnings process. How about solo professionals? If you're a solo professional, like an attorney, an accountant, a consultant, or a coach, Best Beginnings will help you narrow your focus on the right target customer for you. Name and articulate your unique value as a professional, understand how to find help during busy times without hiring employees, and charge enough money for success. Best Beginning carefully lays out the relationship between your financial needs and your prices. You will be guided through ways to understand your competition's pricing and how to position your pricing and services within the real marketplace. So what if you're a healthcare professional? If you're an acupuncturist, an ND, massage therapist, caregiver, nutritionist, nurse, practitioner, Best Beginnings will help you focus your practice on the right customers and teach you to speak the language that attracts those customers. It is very important for health practitioners to properly package services to generate the revenues they want and need and charge appropriately for what they do, no matter what everybody else is charging. Remember, if you get to price comparison, you're being seen as a commodity. We want you to sell the value of what you have to offer and what differentiates you. Best Beginnings will show you how to present yourself as worth the higher fees you deserve to be paid because of your skill and your expertise. Now, we all know that pricing is an art, and we're going to talk about the value of your experience, your talent, and your unique skill set, and encourage you to add those non-material elements into your pricing equation. We're going to offer you some methods to overcome the fear of asking for what your work is really worth and helping make you financially successful. Although through the Best Beginnings program, we will encourage you to charge what you're worth. This is a combination that's practical and based on competitive research and on building your self-confidence and taking steps with support from us to overcome the fear and move towards financial success. The Best Beginnings team is just a fabulous, fabulous support network. Marketing is, in the digital age, is as much about your customer finding you as about you finding your customer. We will talk about tools, methods, and approaches for you to use to make yourself visible and easy to find by the people to whom you want to sell. So this is the place where I get to encourage you to take the step that can change your life. This course begins in February and runs for 7 weeks. We're going to start on Thursday, February 4th at 11 o'clock. It's going to change your life. It's a live meeting online for 7 weeks. And you're going to receive homework and worksheets to use to think about and discover and design your business while you go through the course. You can ask questions and interact with others in the course. Now, I know there are many of you who have thought about this for a long time, even years. This is a no-risk way to discover whether a solo business will fulfill your dream. I want to encourage you to take the step into the future and learn how to begin your new venture. The course costs $497 and includes 7-hour-long sessions filled with information you can put to use immediately. That's one of my standards. You got to be able to use it right now. If you want to rewatch any session, you can do it as many times as you wish. They are going to be recorded. You can tune back in and watch it as many times as you want to do. And the completed workbook is going to be your roadmap to the best beginnings for your business. Now, don't delay. Do it now. If you are one of the first 2 to sign up today, you receive a 50% discount, bringing your price to $249. So I'm going to say sign up now. If you go online right away and sign up, put in the coupon code B50, and you will be charged $249 instead of $497. So remember, again, this is a method and a system. It's not magical. It's common sense. It can't guarantee you 6 figures in a few months, but you can make a good, comfortable living doing exactly what you love and not, worrying about marketing, not worrying about finance, not worrying about employees. You can live your dream and beginning it late in life. Now, I'm engaged with your students from start to finish, answering questions, lending encouragement, and a helping hand over the hard parts. Now, I'm going to promise you that if you do your part, this method will work for you regardless of what you want to do. If you can't commit yourself and sign up today, if you come through Janet's process, Janet's website, and sign up for the course, you can use the coupon code B10, which is going to be active all the way up to the point where we start the webinars, and you can get a 10% discount, which is my gift to you who are Janet's followers for tuning in today, and to Janet for the wisdom that she has added. So I'm going to say, don't delay. If this works for you and you think it's possible, I'd love to see you as part of Best Beginnings. So anybody got any more questions or comments?
Jackie, there's been a few questions, and let's see. The first one is, will I get individual feedback on my ideas?
Well, you're certainly going to get them, online as we talk if you ask your questions through the chat room. And what I'm thinking of doing is adding a follow-up accountability mastermind group that we will begin making available for 6 months that will add another $300 to the cost of the course so that you can get one-on-one coaching outside of the webinars themselves.
Okay, well, somebody just wrote, wow. Sounds like a good idea.
I like that.
The last question is about how much time will I need to spend? I know it's an hour for each webinar, but how much time in addition to that do you think I should count on spending to develop my own plan?
My guess is when you think about it as the preparer of learning material, the rule of thumb that's given to you is you're going to put 2 to 3 hours of preparation in for every hour of presentation. I'm going to guess that with those worksheets, it's going to be the same thing for you. that you're going to want to plan that you're going to put another hour or 2 or maybe even 3 into filling out those worksheets, mulling, erasing, doing them again, talking with people, maybe working with some of your coaches, maybe working with people that are potential customers. So my guess it's going to be anywhere 1 to 3 hours in additional to listening to the webinar.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Jackie.
All right. Janet, have you got anything more to add?
No, I think you've covered it all. I really appreciate being part of this today. I hope we get a lot of people signing up because the course is really valuable.
Wonderful. Well, Janet, I've so appreciated you having you on, and Susan, you're fabulous as always. So if I don't have any more questions, I'm going to tune us out and say goodbye for today. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye. Sign up now.